My name is Beth, and I'm back again today to do another live recording. I was just over on Instagram, so I decided to pop over here as well, kind of in the mode of recording today. I wanted to talk about a couple of major themes that are going on. Things that came to me today. My guide said it repeatedly, the eye of the tiger, and I was like, okay, I don't even know what that means. I was like, I'm just gonna look it up and see what I find as far as research. And I found some interesting things that I do want to share. I shared it over on Instagram. I'm going to be sharing it again here. Just want to let everybody know where I'm at with things, though, just to kind of talk a little bit about what's going on with my channel and me. So, right now, I've been recording like almost every day, and essentially, like very few people, like less and less people are watching here on YouTube. That's how it feels. Doesn't mean like that's maybe the case, but from what I can see, it looks like there's less viewership. And there's more and more viewership over on Instagram. Um, and essentially, I also feel like I actually have even more viewership over on my new channel, The Whale Called Moon, despite the fact that I've been recording so much here on YouTube. So I may be recording less here on this channel for this reason. I'm asking everybody to donate, please, if you can donate. I'm asking everybody to book readings. If you can book a reading, if you want to book a reading, this is the time to do it, because essentially this channel is getting very little traction. Like it's painfully slow. So it's never been this, like I've never put so much energy into it and had so little of a return. And it's very frustrating. And I have said this before that ultimately, in order for me to make this channel work, I really need to do memberships, make it so that people essentially have to pay to watch my videos, which sounds horrible, but that is kind of the way I've seen it going for a long time. So if donations are at all possible, you guys, even if it's just $20, I really, at this time, need to see some sort of that coming through, because I just don't necessarily know what really is going to really make the difference as far as getting traction for this channel. Like I said, I've put in so much work and so much effort, and I feel like this has been going on for a while now. I brought my channel back and I was really excited. I was like, I'm going to put, double down. I'm going to put all this effort and energy into this channel again. And I still anticipate putting more videos here, but it's just like, I just don't feel the support at all, really. It's very minimal. And it's not enough to really keep it really going, in the sense that like I actually have made more videos than I ever have for this channel, and it's getting seen less. And like I thought with me telling everybody that to please add the playlists, like to watch my playlist, like set it, on your phone or on your laptop or whatever, to just play my playlists, that it would increase the watch time hour so that I could get my monetization back, so that essentially this channel would become a priority with the algorithm, so that it would actually be seen, so that my stuff could get seen. But I actually have less, as the days go on. Even though I've recorded more, my watch time hours seem to be less. So instead, it's going backwards. It's going backwards instead of increasing. And it was increasing, and now it's going backwards. So it's just very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. So I am putting more content into my other channel, more content into Instagram, and I anticipate to put more focus and energy over there, because essentially people are actually seeing my stuff. So if you are watching this, please, like, comment, share. If you can put like a playlist on somewhere sometime today, any playlist that I've got, and let it play for like an hour, that would really, I'd appreciate it. I know that some followers have already done that and I appreciate it so much, but I'm letting everybody know that it's very frustrating at this point to keep producing just so much and like have it be seen so little. So I just wanted to say that first and foremost. I need to talk about that because that is what's going on with my channel right now. This channel. My other channel is actually doing better than this channel, which is crazy because I just started. Like there's 7 videos over there. There's 1,300 videos here. So it's I don't know how to like change it. I just know that like I'm at a point where it's very frustrating. And I have tried to make it better and fix it, but for whatever reason it's just been very hard going. So please donate, please book readings. If you know somebody who wants a reading, tell them, hey, it's $10 off if you refer somebody. And if you make a comment over on my new channel, like the Whale Called Moon, you would also get $20 off. So it would be $30 off if you referred somebody and they made a comment over on my other channel. But in general, like I just, I'm kind of going like, I don't know what's going on with this channel and it's very, very frustrating. So that being said, I do want to jump into like what is up with the energy right now because my guide kept saying the eye of the tiger today. And I was like, okay, what does that mean? I looked it up, took some very interesting notes, and have kind of come up with like an idea of what it means. And for those of you who don't like trigger stuff, the stuff that's fearful, then this might not be the video for you. But I do feel like there's positive and negative things. I do feel like there's positive and negative aspects to this energy. I am going to be talking, it looks like she's saying hi in the chat. I am not just talking about, this is not a video, I want to say this, for Leos, okay? This is not like a video specifically for Leos. Mainly on my channel, I talk about what's going on in the collective, and I want to be really clear here that the things that are going on right now are for everyone. This is like a wake-up call for every person, regardless of sun sign, okay? So this is not a video for Leos specifically. This is a collective message for everyone. The eye of the tiger, let's just talk about that first and foremost. I looked up it online, and there's a metaphorical meaning, but there's actually an actual like literal meaning, okay? And the literal meaning of the eye of the tiger is when the tiger animal is about to kill its prey, the last thing that animal sees is the backs of the tiger's ears, and there's spots in the tiger's ears, and those are the eyes, and that's the last thing it sees. And when I read that, I was like, whoa, like that's pretty intense, And so I see this energy flag as the eye of the tiger means that there's something coming that's a red flag type event that's going to be affecting everybody. That's going to be one of those things where it's irreversible because the prey, when it sees the tiger's ears, the eye of the tiger is in a position of acceptance that it's going to die, that there's nothing that it can do. So there's a situation where to me, it's like a power struggle too. My guys are actually showing me too. It has to do with like a power struggle where there might be something that's going to happen, which is going to be kind of irreversible in the sense that, there's a serious imbalance between the people in power and the everyday human being. And everybody knows what the plan has been for a long time, enslaving humanity, that's NWO. We know that that's been the plan for a long time. This came to me, I want to say this too. This came to me a couple of days ago, and I don't know why I felt it so strongly then, but a couple of days ago, I felt this energy of almost like not just anger, not resignation, but just the lack of wanting that whole agenda to take place, a lack of wanting like other people to f up the world, to be in control. Like the people who are in control, there was this lack of wanting to. It's almost like, okay, it's like if you were on a team of people, let's just say like there's 10 people to your team, right? And you've got one terrible coach, really horrible coach. It's like the equivalent of like 9 out of 10 people on the team not wanting to do what the coach wants you to do, not wanting to do it. So therefore, it's going to feel really hard. The team is really not going to function very well, if at all. It's like, I don't know, like there's people, like to me, my guide's showing me like people lagging behind and just like, I don't know, this sort of weird energy of just like things not moving forward or things not like happening collectively, or like there's this lack of forward momentum because it's like, yeah, it's like people in power want a certain agenda, and that certain agenda they're really, really pushing, but like nobody wants it. Like the people that they're trying to get to do it don't want to do it. But at the same time, so it's like this power struggle. I don't know how to explain it. Let me see. I need to check my chat here. Okay, so yeah, so that was the feeling that I got. I got this really weird feeling. And about like people just not wanting to go through with it. Like in order for there to be like an NWO, there has to be people on the planet that want to go along with that. Souls that want to go along with that. Souls that are saying, yeah, we signed up for this. We know we signed up for this and we're going to go along with the plan. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels like tyranny or an extreme, like I don't know how to explain it, like an extreme energy where people are like, no, I don't want to go along with that. No, I don't want to go along with that. There's souls that are not wanting to participate. And you have to have, in order for the game to exist, you have to have participants. That's my point. That's what I'm saying. You have to have willing participants. And I just don't feel like people are really willing. I don't know. Okay, so like let's go back. Okay, so the eye of the tiger to me has a positive and negative energy. The negative one is the one where I was talking about where I feel like, and my guides have confirmed, there's a red flag type event that's about to happen and this shit is about to go down. And there's nothing that really anybody can do to stop that. To me, that is in motion. That's what's going to happen. It's a red flag. It's a warning. To me, the eye of the tiger, to me, is a warning to its prey. It's a warning. It's saying, hey, this is about to go down. And the thing about it is, my guides are confirming that. So like to me, it's like everybody needs to kind of become more mentally prepared. My guides are also showing me too, there's something about disclosure. Okay, and I've talked about this disclosure on my channel before. Disclosure is where certain beings put it out there and said, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And at an X, Y, and Z time later in time, or this is what we want to have happen, right? Certain beings. And people don't read that fine print. People don't take note of it. So then when it actually does happen, it comes as a big surprise because even though they were told, they didn't want to accept it. Even though they were told, they didn't want to do anything about it. Even though they were told, they didn't see how it was going to be applicable to them. And all during the pandemic, this was like huge, huge deal, was that people did not understand how it was going to be applicable to them. How any negative thing that you said about any of the bug stuff was going to be applicable to them. It was a complete denial of how it was going to be applicable to them. How their life had to change because of it. So essentially what happened is that pre and post pandemic, we've got nothing changing. Everybody doing exactly the damn same thing that they did before. And That's a problem. That's problem number one. And number two is the fact that there's been a disclosure about what is happening. There's been disclosure and people not reading it, people not accepting it, people not understanding it, people not getting it. And therefore, when the thing, that big stuff goes down, it comes as like this WTF moment of, okay, well, what are we supposed to do about that now? Kind of thing. Living by the seat of your pants kind of thing. Need to get some tea here. Hang on just a second. Okay, so we have the literal meaning of the eye of the tiger, and then we also have the metaphorical meaning of the eye of the tiger, which I think most people know, but I'm going to go through some of my notes because it's actually pretty cool. I actually feel like it's going to be motivational for some people. I feel like for some, it's a beautiful time because there's an opportunity here to be wiser, to be smarter, to not give up, to be very courageous, to kind of dig deeper, to be very determined, to become even more aware than you are right now, to be confident. The powers of the tiger is enhanced agility, enhanced balance, enhanced durability, endurance, enhanced senses. To me, the tiger is about being alert, walking carefully, being wiser, being fierce. All of these things are very positive, and it's the highest vibration of the Leo energy, of the Leo shadow for the Aquarius. So that brings me into what the Leo shadow is, okay? The Leo shadow is anytime there's a planet, like there's a planet that's in the sign, say, of Aquarius, or in the sign, say, of Pisces, or any of the other signs, there's going to be a shadow aspect, which I think of as the thing that we're trying to overcome, which is sometimes harder and more negative, okay? So the shadow aspect of the Leo, okay, is materialism. It's the ego. It's needing to be right. It's not seeing how things outside of you are going to affect you, not seeing the bigger picture, only really focusing on the self. There's a need for power. There's a need for competition. There's a need for, there's an overconfidence. There's over selfishness. There's things. I want to say that move slowly or that get stuck as well. To me, but the Leo super shadow, to me, is my way of describing the age of Aquarius and what humanity as a whole, as a collective, is kind of working on overcoming. And materialism was the first thing. It's been talked about on my channel before, and it's been talked about by other psychics as well, that there was going to become like an increase of people going down the materialism hole. It's like what motivates people is like this strongly materialism energy. And the eye of the tiger, to me, is the highest vibration of that Leo. And the Aquarius energy has learned to master. To me, it's a mastery of the Leo energy. It's mastery. The eye of the tiger is the mastery, is what I'm trying to say, is the lesson from the Leo shadow. So if people can master the energy of this eye of the tiger, let's just say, being courageous, being smart, being sharp, going for what you want, not hesitating, using your psychic senses, getting educated, being aware, and understanding the difference between, and I talked about this over on Instagram as well, the difference between like abundance and materialism. To me, abundance is knowing you already have everything you could possibly want. Abundance is self-worth. Abundance is self-love. Abundance is the air that we can breathe, that we don't have to like measure. Materialism is that energy of like never really having enough, like material things to be satisfied with your life, and you can't come to peace with your life until you have a certain amount of material, you have a certain amount of whatever it is that you're striving for on a material level, whether it's a house or whether it's a car, or whether it's stuff that you've got, clothes, whatever. So yeah, so to me, like that's what we're trying to learn. That's what the Aquarius is learning, but that's what the world is learning, because we are in the age of Aquarius. And Pluto is in Aquarius right now. So there's going to be that shadow aspect. The shadow aspect of the Pluto and Aquarius is Pluto and Leo. And what is Pluto and Leo? To me, Pluto and Leo is what set everybody up for World War II, is the World War II generation. Okay. It's what set everybody up into what I call, what you might think of as like a totalitarian society, which leads to a dystopian society 100 years later. It's the beginning of this. To me, it's the beginning of the NWO. It's the I don't know when that started. I don't even care. To me, it's the beginning of it, though. Because I actually feel like back then there was a push for that. Why did the Great Depression happen? Why did World War II happen? We had first the stock market, then the Great Depression, and then World War II. That's how it went. So recently, what have we got? We recently had a stock market issue. Everybody's talking about a depression, and then what are we going to have after that? I mean, it's pretty clear how history is repeating itself to me. It's just very, very clear. But I wanted to bring this up to me because the Leo super shadow is like very present right now. And I wanted to bring up too, because Pluto is in Aquarius. Pluto just moved into the sign of Aquarius, okay, in March, which hadn't been in that sign of Aquarius since 2008. So Pluto being in Aquarius, it absolutely, there's going to be this Leo shadow. And I do believe there is something going on with that generation that's going to be going on with that generation specifically during this time period. Something is going on with that generation. Anybody born between 1937 and 1958, there's stuff that's going to be going on with them at this time. They're going to have problems at this time. And I did say before that there was something going on with the elderly at this time. We have Saturn in Pisces, and to me, that's the elderly. So I just feel like that to me, and my guides are confirming that there's something going on there. And I don't know entirely like exactly. I have some ideas about what it is, about stuff that can be going on with them, but I feel like I actually feel like more people are going to pass away from this generation at this time than people are expecting. And to me, it's a shift in power. There's two parts to it. There's the part where nobody wants to have this happen, the shift in power. Because to me, the Leo is power, and Aquarius is the people. So there's going to be a problem. There's going to be an issue between the people and the power. People and power. People in power, and then people and power. So that's kind of how I see it. To me, it's just two different energies, but it's all connected. It's all tied together. Okay. I was looking up, like thinking about because my guides also were talking about the Leo super shadow, and I was thinking to myself recently too about this. And I talked about a little bit on one of my other videos. I don't remember which video it was, but the Pluto and Leo, I looked up, and that's part of it. That energy is part of it. As a shadow aspect, as an aspect of where we are not. Okay, so where we are, we have Pluto and Aquarius. Aquarius is the sign opposite Aquarius is the Leo. So that's the shadow. Okay, like that. So if we were Pluto and Leo, the shadow would have been Aquarius. So I feel like all of the issues with power, issues with corruption, issues with, let's just say, world takeover, okay, came out of 1937 to 1958. If we want to look at stuff during that time, we could go back in history and look at stuff that happened during that time, but I don't think we need to at this moment. We could, though, and I feel like anything that happened during that time is going to kind of rear its ugly head. That's how I feel, because to me, that's the shadow, that's the dark, that's the things that's hidden, that's the stuff, like anything that really was hidden deep during 37 to 58 around the world, wherever it was hidden, is going to rear its ugly head. It's going to come up, because that's the, well, not only that is that Aquarius energy. Aquarius is the people, but also Aquarius is other people, and it's not just about the self. So what's good for the many, it's this very Star Trek, what's good for the many outweighs what's good for the few. What's good for the many is Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius. What's good for the few is Pluto and Leo. Leo is the few. Leo is the self. Leo is just like, I'm just going to have a great time today. I don't really necessarily care what's going on with everybody else. I'm just going to go have a good time. Now, there's a lot of positive stuff for every sign. Leo's positive. Leos have a lot of positive energy. And so does Aquarius. So does, every other single sign. Okay, there's not one sign that's better than the other. Honestly, well, I would say Taurus. If you want to avoid issue, just don't get involved with a Taurus. That's probably what I would say. I tell you, this is from an astrologer's perspective. I wouldn't date a Taurus. Everybody who has dated a Taurus has had serious problems. Anyone with a Taurus moon, also, I probably would run for the hills. But that's just my perspective. Okay. But okay. So yeah. Being smart, being wise, at this time is what is really going to really be in your highest interest. Okay, your best interest. Your best interest at this time is to be like the tiger. The highest qualities of the tiger, which is being smart, being wise, being aware. What's not going to be in your best interest at this time is being in the Leo shadow of just focusing on yourself, just focusing on your family, just focusing on what you've got to do in this moment, just focusing on and not caring about others so much, and not thinking about others so much, and not really having two-sided conversations rather than a one-sided conversation. There's a lot of me focus right now. People have talked about, I don't remember where it was. It might have been the New York Times. I don't want to say exactly who it was, but I don't remember. But there was an article about how everybody was kind of becoming narcissistic. And what they were basically saying, hi, Abby, just saying hi. What they were basically saying is that, with social media, it's this kind of self-obsession. It's a self-obsession about, like, I'm going to show myself. It's the selfie. It's the mirror, So I definitely feel like for some of you, it's, I do feel like there's something that's going to come out on social media. I don't know what it is, but that is part of this. There's something with social media as well. It could be some social media guru stuff. I don't necessarily feel like, that's the only thing. I don't feel like that's the only thing. I actually feel like, to me, the Eye of the Tiger, to me, is more of a wake-up call. It's more of like, we need to be like really alert what's going on. I would check. I check trends on Twitter for news stuff, and maybe start to really follow stuff there. To me, that gives me kind of like, okay, these are the main things that are trending. These are the main things that are going on. Some people don't like to watch the news, but I really would encourage people to pay attention. This is about paying attention. There's also, to me, okay, so there's some interesting things about Chinese culture and the tiger, how it's a symbol of strength and courage, and like, prowess, and it's also a symbol of good fortune and joy. The interesting thing that I looked it up, it also talks about gold specifically, which is very interesting because the whole thing with the dollar right now is shifting. People have talked about how the dollar used to be backed by gold and about, investing in gold and silver and things like that. I am not making any suggestions, and this is not a stock tip, okay, about stuff like that, but that came up here, and it was interesting that came up here. The thing about the tiger has the Leo energy. Lions, tigers, to me, it's a very similar energy. And to me, the Leo energy has a gold energy. To me, it's like the sun energy. So there is something that's going to be going on with that. We all know that, but I did see it, and I find it ironic that that's coming up here. The thing about the Leo energy is that, again, it's in shadow. It's in shadow and it's hidden. My guides are saying just be very careful with your money at this time. This is not a time to spend money like water. This is a time to really be in a place of abundance, know what you're doing with it, and be smart about it. That's what I would say. Just looking to see if there's anything else that wants to come through. I'm not laying out a spread. I laid out a spread to see what's coming through. I think what's most important is just the fact that I'm basically just letting everybody know that there's something coming. And it's not just that there's something coming, but to me, it's something that's going to be shifting the way we perceive things to be. And it's going to snap people into their awakening. It's going to snap people into their, out of their ignorance. To me, also, that Leo shadow, talk about the negative aspects. I always say that arrogance and ignorance are to me evil. It's evil energy. It's negative. It might be going too far to say that it's actually evil, but to me, it's negative because people who are arrogant think that whatever bad stuff happens in the world could never happen to them. That's arrogance. And ignorance is where you don't even know, the stuff that could happen to you. You don't even know. I don't know how many types of cancer there are in the world. Okay, there's a lot. I know that there's a lot of, types of cancer. Ignorance is where you would not even think that you could ever get cancer, or that you would never look it up to see, okay, well, this is even possible, or to consider it a possibility. Nobody's ever told you. To me, this ignorance is where you just don't know. A doctor's never sat you down and said, hey, if you keep going the way you're going with a high fat diet or high sugar diet, you're going to get diabetes, or you're going to have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. And that high cholesterol could lead to blood clots, or that, that stuff could lead to a heart attack, or that could lead to cancer of the colon, or that could lead to, you know what I'm saying? People do not make those connections. Doctors specifically avoid telling you if you drink 12 beers a day that you could get cancer of the bladder, kidneys, liver, have liver failure, could have a tumor, all that stuff. They don't tell you that stuff. But that's ignorance. Ignorance is where you just don't know, and you haven't put two and two together. So to me, this is a time about putting two and two together. It's saying, okay, we need to learn what's going on. And that's Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy, Pluto and Aquarius, the age of Aquarius is all about, okay, we need to learn. We need to figure out, okay, if I drink 12 beers a day, what's going to happen? If X, Y, and Z were to happen, then what do I need to do to be prepared? If da-da-da-da-da is the case with the whole changing of the dollar, how's that going to affect me personally? If the stock market were to go to tank, if the housing market were to crash, if history does repeat itself, which most likely it will, if that shit happens, what is going to be applicable for you? And how is it going to be applicable for you? And not only is it how is it going to be applicable for you, but how are you prepared for it mentally? And how are you prepared for it as far as like, okay, this is the S that's coming down the line, you know? Kind of stuff. Like, to me, that's important to think about. Does anybody have any comments on that? Just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. I also wanted to say the Eye of the Tiger to me is also about overcoming challenges. And the highest vibration of learning the Aquarius energy in the age of Aquarius is overcoming challenges versus the Leo expectation of perfection. The Leo expectation that things are going to go a certain way. The expectation that things are going to go in some way perfectly, and everything's going to turn out perfectly. And then when they don't turn out perfectly, like, nobody knows what to do. Nobody's prepared. Living by the seat of your pants. Fire signs typically all kind of live by the seat of their pants. Aries, absolutely. Leo, for sure. Okay. And Sagittarius, by the time a soul gets to be Sagittarius, has any Sagittarius in their chart, they've got wings. They've got wings. They're flying. They fly by the seat of their pants. They excel by the seat of their pants. If they're forced to do something in the moment, like, even better. It's like the Sagittarius absolutely thrives on it. It pisses them off at times, but like, they're their best self when they're in the moment, you know, when they're saving the day, they're rescuing somebody, they do everything at the very last second. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful Sagittarius energy. So, I think I lost my train of thought. I'm getting into Sagittarius energy. I love Sagittarius energy for this reason, because they have a little bit of arrogance sometimes, because they think that they can get it done at the last second. They usually can, but not always. But they're, to me, Sagittarius is just sort of warm and fuzzy and has a lot of endearing qualities. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, so I guess, yeah, I was just saying, living by the seat of your pants. But because we have Pluto in Aquarius, the Leo energy is in shadow. The Leo aspect is in shadow. Because it's the age of Aquarius, regardless of any other planet right now, the Leo energy is in shadow. So the things that are in shadow, the gold is in shadow, the money's in shadow, the abundance is in shadow. The actually, if we think about it, the psychic, everybody being psychic is in shadow. Having psychic awareness, using your intuition, that's all in shadow. Feeling protected, feeling safe. There's also, the thing about, in Chinese culture, the military, the tiger is a symbol of the military. So to me, there's something going on there. I don't want to go too far into that at all. Not at all. But we can all imagine stuff being hidden there. I was saying something about ignorance and arrogance and just not knowing what's coming. Overcoming challenges. The Eye of the Tiger is about overcoming challenges. And the thing about people, it really is going to come down to being able to be like, okay, I've been knocked down I don't know how many times. I'm going to get back up one more time. I'm just going to keep getting back up until I stand, And I think in some way this time period, specifically when Pluto is in Aquarius, is going to test everybody's ability to overcome challenges. Because you can't just, at this time, try to wing it. And you can't just, I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like a lot of people may feel during this time kind of beaten down. Like that they're not equipped mentally, or they're not prepared in some way to overcome the challenges of life, the real challenges. of life. And I feel like those are going to become very apparent to people going forward in time. And I feel like whatever event is coming, to me, it's a kind of an Aquarius type event, where it's going to awaken people more to what are the real challenges of life. My dad used to say, is it really necessary to have like 12 different body lotions and, you know, a huge clothes closet, and like, what is it really necessary to have? So I think people at this time really need to think about that in those terms as well, because again, the real challenges of life will be making it so it'd be less about how much you have and more about what you have. My guys are showing me that. So let's just say you might have had 12 perfumes in the past, but that's not going to count where you're facing the real challenges of life, where maybe food is short, gas is short, you don't know how you're going to get to work, things like that. It's not going to matter that you have 12 perfumes. It's not going to matter if you have a giant clothes closet. It's not going to matter. The Leo aspects aren't going to matter. Like the shadow aspects aren't going to matter. Like the materialism stuff isn't going to count. It's not going to cut it, because it's not really, it's all based on the ego and how that makes people feel. Now, again, everybody needs to work on themselves as well as focus on what's going on in the world. Yes. But to me, the Eye of the Tiger, this message is about overcoming challenges, being able to overcome the real challenges of life. So it's not so important that you look good to somebody else, or that you have 100 pairs of jeans. It really is going to be more about how you overcome the challenges of life, the things that are hard, the things that are challenging, the things that make you want to give up, the things that make you want to stop, the things that make you go, I don't know if I can keep going in this way. It's about not giving up, not, like never stop fighting, It's about being knocked down and getting back up again. And being able to, like, in the sense of, like, some people don't even really know what that means. I've talked to, and I feel like this is going to affect men more specifically than women, because I feel like in our society, the more, like, I've talked to many men, and I feel like, and this is just from my experience with men, is that they don't have to try so much with jobs and career. They don't have to get like 10 rejections. Like, they just don't get 10 rejections, because most of the men that I've talked to won't even try for 2. They might try for 1. And if they get rejected, most likely they won't get a rejection. But like, if you got rejected for 1, they wouldn't even try again. How many people do you know that, like, let's just say you applied for housing somewhere, or you applied for a job somewhere, you applied to something, and if they got rejected more than once, would they keep trying? How many people do you know would keep trying? It's very rare to meet people that would actually keep trying if they've gotten rejected quite a lot, or if they faced rejection in their quite a lot. The thing about our very, like, Leo shadow narcissistic society is that there is this energy of rejection. There's an energy of rejection. That I feel like people are going to really need to work on overcoming mentally, being mentally prepared. So, okay, I think I'm going to pull some last cards. I'm just going to see if there's anything else that wants to come through here. I feel like too much, like, not knowing what to do for some people causes confusion. So, like, some people may know, like, they may be very aware that there's some bad shit that's about to go down, but then they don't really know what to do to change it, or to stop it, or, like, how to get through it. Some people are going to need to let go of their fear of change during this time. Some of you are going to just need to get through stuff and let go of a need to control at this time. What's not going to be helpful is any kind of walls that you put up that kind of prevent you from doing stuff. Like, to me, this is like any kind of resistance that you may have to stuff needs to go. Any walls that you have to stuff that might be good for you, you might want to try, or that might be in your best interest to do, need to get released. Some of you may feel like this process or this time or whatever this event is going to be quite painful as like a learning experience. But I feel like peace is going to come after it. There's always stuff that comes after a challenging time. So let's just say, we're faced with a lot of challenges in life, and it doesn't go on for years and years and years and years. It stops eventually. Like, eventually you break through, or eventually you either break through, you keep going, or you give up. And so I feel like those are the two choices that are going to be happening for most people at this time. You're going to either break through, or you're going to give up. You have to decide what you're going to do. But I also feel like for those of you who are going to break through, there's going to be peace on the other side. There can be peace now, but to me, going through a challenging time does not feel peaceful. So most people, it feels quite painful. I feel like this time is going to be quite painful for some of you. And you might not even want to like think about it. Like, some of you are like, you know what? I don't even want to think about stuff like that. I don't even want to but you're going to look back on it and be like, you know what? She was right. It was a painful time, but I've made my peace with it. I've come out on the other side with it. I felt, like, to me, there's like releasing of stuff, a purging of sorts. I don't see the purging card here, but to me, there is sort of like a natural process that you go through, which is kind of like purging. I want to leave off here. Thank you guys so much for being amazing fans and followers. If you'd like to support my channel, you can send a donation. I know that I will be slowly, I want to say, migrating or putting more energy into my Instagram page and feed and recording more over there. I will be putting more energy into my other channel, my new channel, The Whale Called Moon. But thank you guys so much. I will try to continue to post here on my Oracle Daphne channel. This has been my baby for so long. I put so much effort into this channel. People don't really understand. It's just been a long hours of just editing and posting, and I appreciate all the support. So all the links to PayPal, Venmo, Cash App are going to be in the description box if you wanted to send a donation, and if you wanted to book a reading, you would just need to send a payment first. But I send everyone the best. I wish everyone the best, and I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care. Bye.